Welcome to Design Recipes, everyone. I'm Kathy Hobbs. If real estate, interior design, and exotic travel is what you're looking for, you have come to the right place. Here's what we have on today's show.
It has long been one of Manhattan's most desirable places to live. On this episode of Design Recipes, we head to Soho to tour an authentic loft with Hila Pellet of Brahma, New York at Keller Williams, NYC. Then, if you like great design, then you'll love this Williamsburg workshop and boutique furniture store. Our Brooklyn expert Donald Brennan takes us to Withers and Grain in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Plus, this year, the experts at Pantone, famous for setting color trends each year, for the first time have selected not one, but two Pantone colors of the year. I head to the Meatpacking District, where I design a sprawling loft using rose quartz and serenity as my design inspiration. And it all starts right now.
We begin with a gorgeous loft right in the heart of Soho. Hila.
Kathy, welcome to 565 Broadway, apartment 5E.
A Soho loft. Now you're speaking my language. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, please.
Hila, I can feel the character in this loft. Tell me a little bit about the building.
So the building was built in 1860, and it was originally built as a factory. And you can see that by how high the ceilings are to support heavy machinery.
Love that. What I also want to say about the ceiling is just such an interesting feature is how it's coffered and curved with the exposed brick and the wood spline. This is my type of apartment. Just kind of that old world charm, old New York, original detail. I'm looking at columns, and I'm looking at what was probably one whole floor that someone carved and created this apartment from.
Exactly. So we have this huge great room.
Love it. Living dining.
Living, dining, open concept kitchen, humongous master bedroom.
So that's what's back here. All right, well, let's take a look at that. These are my favorite type of doors, especially how it slides on that barn door hardware. And here is the master, huh?
Look at this. Huge king size bed, allowing dressers, sitting area. I mean, you can do so many things in this amazing space.
You can, and also the light that just pours through this. Who wouldn't want to wake up to sunshine?
Exactly, Kathy, and that's one of the big features about this bedroom. Welcome to the kitchen, Kathy. I know it's one of your favorite rooms in the house.
It is, and I want to talk about how it's laid out. Because it's not a big space,
right?
But it looks like they laid it out in a very efficient way. I'm used to seeing refrigeration drawers, but I've never seen it done quite this way.
So you get a lot out of this type of fridge. You can use different temperatures in each compartment. How cool is that?
Very cool.
And you maximize on space. Instead of having one bulk area that's the refrigerator, you have all of this usable space.
I agree with you. Do you think that you can fit something large? I have a child, milk, things like that to really make it practical too.
I'm happy you asked.
Ah,
Look at this.
Okay.
Pretty awesome, right?
We got the milk. Now I'm sold. Now I'm sold.
Off the kitchen, we have the dining room.
And obviously you have the space for gracious entertaining. And to me, this is what you expect to find in a Soho loft, this type of open style living.
I'm happy you said that, Kathy, because this apartment will appeal to so many buyers. With 1,850 square feet, one bedroom, two bathrooms, and an office nook in the prime heart of Soho.
Thank you so much for bringing me outside. Soho is one of my favorite neighborhoods.
It's actually been the hottest neighborhood for the past 3 decades, Kathy.
I love it. So here we are back at the building, 565 Broadway. Do you think Soho will be a selling point in any way?
For sure, Kathy. One of the top real estate prime areas is here in the heart of Soho. We have Prince Street here, Spring Street down there. We're right on Broadway.
And shopping?
Shopping everywhere, transportation.
Restaurants?
You name it, we got it.
Coming up, we leave downtown Manhattan and head to Williamsburg, Brooklyn. If you've ever wondered what it's like to get a custom-made furniture piece, this next segment is for you. Our Brooklyn real estate expert Donald Brennan introduces us to Withers and Grain. Up next. Welcome back to Design Recipes, everyone. I'm Kathy Hobbs. Before Williamsburg, Brooklyn was home to hipsters, it was home to artists and craftsmen. Despite Williamsburg's dramatic real estate transformation, many of the artisans have stayed. Our Brooklyn real estate expert Donald Brennan introduces us to Withers and Grain, where you can find custom-made furniture. Donald?
Before it was a hip residential neighborhood, Williamsburg, Brooklyn was home to artists and artisans. Today, the same holds true. And one standout, Withers and Grain. Part showroom, part wood and metal shop. Its custom designs are made right here in Brooklyn. It's no secret Williamsburg, Brooklyn represents one of the biggest neighborhood turnaround stories as it relates to New York City real estate. Home to luxury condominium buildings and hip hotels, Williamsburg is where scores of artisans still work and sell their custom-made pieces. I had the pleasure of learning more about the vision behind Withers and Grain.
Hey, welcome to Withers and Grain.
How are you? Donald Brennan.
Adam Johnson.
Nice to meet you.
Luke Pisano.
Hey Luke, how are you?
I'll show you some of the stuff we're working on.
Excellent. So can you tell me a little bit about the history of Withers and Grain?
Sure. About 5 or 6 years ago, Adam and I got together. He was working on designing some pieces, and I was working on building them.
Yeah.
And we just threw in our lot together, and we were both really interested in working with local materials. So that means woods that come from the Northeast, and it also means wood that comes directly from the city. So reclaimed wood. We have some water tower wood that we've worked with back there, some redwood, just a variety of things, but we like keeping it, in this close, concise area.
The Williamsburg showroom is open to the public, but it's what happens in their on-site studios where we learn why they are such a favorite of designers and those looking for a unique, handmade piece of furniture. Is there anything that you are known for specifically?
We do a lot of these sort of large slab pieces. We're able to work with clients and to design pieces and really build, a nice, beautiful custom piece.
Sure. But what makes your product unique versus whatever else is available in the marketplace?
Well, we try to do everything in-house, so from the sourcing of the wood, the woodwork in general, and then also we have a metal fabrication shop, and we do all legs and metal hardware for our pieces as well.
So the whole complete piece.
The whole thing.
That's interesting. So what kind of pieces do you primarily create?
Well, we work with a range of pieces. Everything from a big, beautiful slab table like this to a small, maybe two-top dining table for a restaurant.
So now you're working in the design realm in both residential, commercial. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, as far as pieces that we produce here, Adam and I will work on those together, but then primarily for our larger design projects, Adam does a lot of the residential and commercial designs.
So why did you decide to set the shop up in Williamsburg?
Originally, we were kind of looking around all over, and fortunately through a friend at a dog park in Brooklyn, we discovered the owner of the building was also a woodworker, and he was pretty kind to us on the rents he gave us for the space and wanting to have another group of makers into the building, and that's how we happened upon it.
A lot of artists and small business owners like yourself feeling a lot of pressure today with the real estate environment the way it is. How do you plan to deal with this?
Right now we're looking at the Hudson Valley to move our production. In terms of showroom space, it's fairly easy. In terms of an industrial production business, it's nearly impossible in the neighborhood now, just because the fear renting that you'll be out within a year or two, and with someone knocking on the door every day trying to buy the building, you kind of got to hedge your bets and figure out how to break up your business model where you can have access to the neighborhood, but also have a plan B if you have to move.
Yeah, smart. Makes a lot of sense. In many ways, Withers and Grain is a prime example of what neighborhoods like Williamsburg are known for. Creativity, one-of-a-kind artisans, setting up shop and selling their work. I'm Donald Brennan of Brennan Real Estate. Back to you, Kathy.
Thanks, Donald. It's so wonderful to see that Williamsburg still hasn't lost its edge or the creativity that it's always been known for. When we come back, we head over to the Meatpacking District, to a gorgeous 3-bedroom apartment where I'm going to share some of my one-of-a-kind design recipes tips when we come back. Welcome back to Design Recipes, everyone. I'm interior designer Kathy Hobbs. Each year, Pantone releases the new It color of the year. And this year, it is not one, but two colors, Serenity and Rose Quartz. In today's design recipe, I'm going to give you a tour of this gorgeous Manhattan apartment I just designed, in which the two Pantone colors of the year, Serenity and Rose Quartz, served as my design inspiration. Come on, let's go.
This year, Pantone chose to go pastel with Rose Quartz, a soft pink, and Serenity, a tranquil blue. Why the two colors? To create a gender-neutral decor.
Pink and blue can be great foundation colors from which you can build a color palette from, or you can use them as accents. I decided to begin my color story here in the living room using a technique that I love called color mapping, in which I pull a color throughout various parts of the room. For example, here we have the blue dominant here in this artwork. And then we pull and map that same blue down into the coffee table book and even into this tea service from one of my favorite companies, David's Tea. Then we're involving the Rose Quartz in one of the accent colors on the coffee table. But design should also be about surprises. And creating my own Rose Quartz inspired flower arrangements is where I decided to not only add a bit of creativity, but also a quirky design element. Essentially, I decided to start with a clear glass vessel, and then I filled it nearly all the way up to the top with moss. And then I decided to add these Rose Quartz flowers, which I chose and placed those on top. As a quirky little design element, perhaps the icing on the cake, I decided to add these adorable Rose Quartz butterflies that I sprinkled throughout my arrangements.
Making your own flower arrangement can help provide flexibility within your decor. Elements such as moss and sand add a modern touch.
Here in the master bedroom, I decided to begin my color palette with white and then layer my color from there. This is probably one of my all-time favorite vignettes. I simply love the way it came out. I started with this faux bone box and then added this little arrangement that I made myself, just adding some moss with some white ceramic eggs. And then this little gemstone element that's so hot right now. And then I decided to lean the artwork. Leaning artwork can be a great alternative to traditional hanging and can really go a long way to creating a really aesthetically pleasing vignette because of the way it attracts the eye. All of these goodies come from one of my favorite places for fabulous finds, Home Goods.
Remember, often the key to creating a fabulous space lies in the details or special touches, so be sure to choose your accent pieces thoughtfully.
Okay, come on, let's enter now into the dark side. Here I decided to begin with black as my color palette. A little bit different, but I think it really works well to help set a mood. Remember, both black and white are great neutral foundation colors from which you can build a color palette. Here I decided to pair black with brass, the hottest metallic finish of the moment. We decided to bring in all these sculptural elements, and then even in the selection of books, we decided to bring in some brass tones, which is then carried through even into the bookends and into this gorgeous table lamp. I also decided to bring back my Rose Quartz butterflies. Don't these butterflies look amazing with this black flower? And last but certainly not least, the third bedroom, which I decided to create into a children's room. I have to say, incorporating this year's two Pantone colors of the year, I had a little fun with it. I really wanted this children's bedroom to feel warm and inviting, kid-friendly, but also gender-neutral. Here, the selection of accessories and accents really played a key role. For example, the selection of these adorable Serenity and Rose Quartz puppies. And then I also brought in Rose Quartz through the selection of the accents with the flower arrangement, in which we have a bed of sand, and then we have this adorable cabbage embedded in the sand, and then we added again our Rose Quartz flowers. Remember, when it comes to home decor, even small touches can make a big difference. This year's Pantone colors of the year, Serenity and Rose Quartz, are fresh, modern, and open to interpretation and creativity. Remember, when it comes to color, less is more. And using a technique called color mapping, in which you pull or map color throughout a space, can go a long way to helping it feel more cohesive and really making sure your colors shine. Well, that's all we have for this episode of Design Recipes. I'm interior designer Kathy Hobbs. Remember that you can watch Design Recipes on the Pix 11 Morning News at any time at pix11.com/Design Recipes. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. See you next time.